Hi, this is Elsa. Today, I want to talk about the politically correct Christians, where brain wreck is in evidence left, right, and center. What's a brain wreck? A brain wreck is if a brain, instead of being able to do the kinds of things brains are meant to be able to do, like to think, to go from one idea to another, to put facts together, if it's all scrambled mess and garbled, that's a brain wreck. And I have said that the politically correct, left, right, and center, one sees brain wreck. Today, I want to talk about the politically correct Christians. So one tiny little example, I'll start with it. I was at some social thing and, I was talking to this person I was introduced, and she was a retired minister, but she felt she was no longer that Christian. She was on to some more expansive stage, and, that makes a lot of sense, your own connection to the spiritual and all that. But I said, I've been paying a lot of attention to religion. Not because I was religious, but because I thought, Islam these days was a bit of a threat. No, it's not, she snapped at me, and her face kind of tightened and bittered up, and I went, have you read the Quran, the Sirah, the Hadith? I don't need to. She went, and she was like, there's bitterness, anger, I would even say hatred coming at me. I was going, what is going on here? Wouldn't it make sense if someone says something is a threat? Like someone says to you, I think so-and-so has cancer, that you don't say, no, they don't. You go, on what basis? Okay, so she did go on, by the way. I have a degree in theology and a degree in political science. As if that meant anything at all. What good does a degree in theology or political science do? It just means you've taken some courses. Does it mean that you know the content of the Quran? No. I could just as well say, I could top her if we're doing a degree topping thing. Hey, I've got a PhD, so, my degree is better than your degree. Of course I didn't do that. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter how many degrees I have. What matters is what I know. Anyway, that's one little example, but it's an example of something much larger and more general. And that is, I would say, generally a politically correct, brain-damaged Christianity. What do I mean? For example, many Christians go to interfaith things. And then, they're all buddy-buddy with Jews, fine, and Muslims. Do they get to be buddy-buddy after they have talked about their differences? For example, hi, so you're Muslim, so you think that Jesus didn't die on the cross, and you think that we changed our religious texts to hide some stuff from you, and you think that people like Moses and Jesus were Muslims, and you have these really interesting passages about striking off our necks and our fingertips, and there's this other thing about, is that the way those conversations go? No. There's a non-facing of things, and I will say larger. The problem is much larger than the interfaith. Most Christians that I know these days, the politically correct ones anyhow, say stuff like, all religions are the same. All religions are basically equal. Let's take Islam. The only way you can be sure to go to paradise is if you were engaging in jihad. Let's say killing a Christian. Then you definitely go to paradise and get your virgins, or some say it's grapes. Whoa, that sure is different from Christianity, where everyone, because of Jesus, is supposed to be able to be saved. And there's all of this stuff about grace. That doesn't sound the same at all to me. And then you've got stuff like Buddhism and Hinduism with reincarnation. That doesn't sound like heaven and hell at all. And then it used to be that Catholics had purgatory, which is different again and not backed up by the Bible. All of these things are not the same. That to me is a sign of brain wreck. Brain wreck takes things that are totally different and says they're the same. And the crazy thing is the people aren't aware of it. They think they're making sense. Well, anyone with half an ounce of sense knows it makes no sense at all. So that is a little tiny bit of brain-wrecked people who consider themselves Christians. By the way, many of these people think they're being like Jesus. Yes, like, he said, judge not lest you be judged, and turn the other cheek. And I go, I don't think they know a lot about Jesus, because I know that he threw the money changers out of the temple. Boom, tables over, out. Well, that's pretty damn judgmental, I would say. Okay, so there's Jesus. Oh, and there's another thing about Jesus. There were a couple of women preparing food. Oh no, only one of them did, Martha. And yeah, she did a lot of food preparation and all that. And then she was really bitchy about it because she went to Jesus and complained. Look, Mary, she's just sitting around listening. And he said, Mary has taken the better road. I think it was Mary. I know the one who complained was Martha. Okay, well, so he was making a judgment. And he was in fact judging that the one who went, who cares about the food right now? I've got Jesus here. I want to listen. That was the better thing to do. Okay. And then another thing, I believe somewhere in the New Testament it says, and the truth shall set you free. Not closing your eyes to things that are obviously different and pretending they're all the same, which cannot be the truth. It doesn't say that will set you free. So anyhow, brain-wrecked Christians.